Yo, what's up everyone? Pete here. Welcome back to the Pete Perspective. And I want to ponder the question, what makes Apple's Magic Keyboard so magic? All right, so I've been rocking out with the older battery-powered keyboard for quite some time now, and it's served me really well. But I'm really excited because now that I have the new M1 MacBook Pro with Touch ID, I think this Magic Keyboard is gonna serve me better than the one that I have now. But stick around to the end of the video because there was actually a little piece of information that Apple doesn't share on their website. And even when I went into the Apple store, I asked one of their employees if this situation or setup would work, and they actually said no, but that's not true. The answer is yes, it does work. So stick around and I'm gonna share that with you. Let's jump in. All right, so here we have it. As of 2021, Apple has released the Magic Keyboard with Touch ID. And the reason being is that this came out with the 24-inch iMac. And with the 24-inch iMac, it came with the capability of Touch ID just because it creates and makes for a lot more of a secure, authentication for logins and for purchases. It's really convenient. Some people will say, hey, how does that save you time, right? That doesn't take very long to do. So anything that's incremental, that's gonna make you work more efficient is great. And I log in a bunch of times throughout the day. So rather than typing in my password, I can just go boop, and then I'm logged in. There is something that honestly, surprisingly, Apple doesn't mention on their website, nor did the employees know in the Apple store that I went to. And so it was something that I had a friend test out who already purchased this. I had him test it out for me. But the big thing was, does this keyboard work with your M1 MacBook Pro laptop? And when I went into Apple, I essentially asked them, hey, will this new keyboard with Touch ID work with my new M1 MacBook Pro, because that does have Touch ID? And the answer was simply no, that this keyboard was only compatible with the new iMacs, and that your Touch ID, if I have my MacBook docked to a monitor, which is currently my setup, that this Touch ID, if my laptop was closed, this Touch ID would not work to log in and authenticate. I had a friend who has this exact keyboard and also bought the brand new M1 Max, and I had him try it out for me. Simply put, I said, hey dude, can you try this to see if it works? Because it seems ridiculous that Apple would make a keyboard like this and not have it work for the new M1s, because so many people want the Pro laptop and want it docked to a monitor rather than the 24-inch M1 iMacs that came out. So pulling this out of the box here, obviously you can see the keyboard. This is the Touch ID, so it makes a big difference. Just to compare quick, this is the new one. Here's the thinness, right? Kind of tapers off. You got your USB Lightning. Unfortunately, it's not USB-C, but that in comparison to this guy, who is this is what I'm using currently. This is the battery-powered version, right? So you have to slip in batteries every couple of months or so. But this has served me well. I'm probably just gonna sell this or let my wife use it. But just to compare the two, see if I can get both in the shot a little bit. I don't have a super wide lens here, so it could kind of be difficult to get them both in. Maybe this way. But more or less, you get the picture. One is significantly flatter too, whereas this has a raise to it. This older one here has a little bit of a raise where you're typing on an angle. This is much more down, like you're just grounded, which is interesting. So we'll see how that works out. But anyways, all that to say, let me get this plastic off. I just thought it was the most interesting thing in the world that Apple doesn't mention that this is compatible with the new M1 Max, and then also that someone in the store, a bunch of people in the store, it wasn't just one person, it was a group of genius people, which maybe, I guess, ironically not that genius. I mean, I'm sure they're brilliant people, but didn't know, sorry, bumped the camera there, didn't know that this would work with the M1 Max. So I'm excited to try it. Actually, I'll show you guys a quick sample of it working in real time. That way you guys can confirm and just be like, hey, this is legit. But it comes with, inside the box, it comes with a little information sort of booklet, as most Apple products do. You get your USB-C to Lightning, so the connection is USB-C, but the thing that's actually going into the keyboard is Lightning. This is about, I guess, 0.16 inches to 0.43 inches high. So 0.43 that is. So remember how I said that it tapers. So the smaller end is 0.16, the higher end is 0.43, and then the width is 10.98 inches, so just about 11 inches wide across. And it's obviously Bluetooth and all that sort of stuff. So this is going to be compatible, again, with the 24-inch iMacs and any new MacBook Pros that just came out in 2021. Again, I'm going to show you here what that looks like. Let's check it out. All right, so I'm literally going through and setting up my Touch ID. I did find that I needed to actually set up a new fingerprint. So this fingerprint was set up for my MacBook Pro, which is down there, but I actually needed to set it up as if it was a second fingerprint. So that is a little catch that I really wasn't thinking about. But again, so far, when I touch it, it's working. It's setting up slowly but surely. All the lines are filling in. That should be complete. So let's see, done. So I have fingerprint 1 and fingerprint 2. So fingerprint 1 is just when I'm using the laptop by itself, and then fingerprint 2 is with this Magic Keyboard. And when I'm using this and it's docked, I'll have that fingerprint 2, which is the same exact fingerprint. So I guess the moment of truth to test it ultimately would just be to log out. Also, this is my 32-inch Ergo display. So a lot of y'all have been wondering about what that looks like. I want to do a full video on that. I think that would be a lot of fun, but this is sort of the setup. One cord, very, very minimal. I got some other stuff happening down there, but this is the one cord setup. So here we go, moment of truth. Put my finger down on the keyboard and boom, should unlock. There we go. How about we do it one more time, just for good measure. It's locked, and I'm going to place my finger on the keyboard, and boom, it's unlocked. So there you have it, folks. The keyboard does indeed work. All right, so there you have it, guys. The keyboard actually works. Again, I don't know why Apple told me otherwise. I've been wanting to get this keyboard since it came out. Actually, I've been wanting to get it since I got my new M1 MacBook Pro, but was told at Apple for a while that, hey, this is not gonna work with your MacBook Pro, don't get it, just save your money until they come out with something that does work for your M1 MacBook Pro. Sounded odd to me just because why would Apple create a MacBook Pro with Touch ID and also a keyboard with Touch ID, but have it only work for the 24-inch iMac? That didn't make sense until I had a friend check it out. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, super quick, but wanted to share that unboxing experience with you and let you know that the Magic Keyboard does work with Touch ID. It works, all right? Anyways, have a great day. Remember that you have a purpose and a perspective unlike anything this world has ever seen. God bless you, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.